All right, we are live. We got April 10th today. It's
with no strings.
It's Friday. And I don't know, the whole world's at a standstill, so we'd figure we'd be out here. The world's at a standstill, so we'd figure we'd be out here. The world's at a standstill, so we'd figure we'd be out
here. You see that right now?
Yeah. All right, so what are you thinking about today, Kamal?
So first of all, I'm actually pissed today. I'm lockdown extended till May 15th by Mayor Eric Garcetti. This is not going to work. After May 1st, no one is, well, I'm going to say no one, but I can see more than enough people getting out that it makes this quarantine irrelevant.
I don't really see the whole world being willing to do this standstill as long as they're expecting us to do it.
I mean, when we first heard about this was what, March 13th, 14th?
Right.
It was like somewhere in there, right? Close to the middle of March. And it was like, it's going to be a 2-week quarantine. And it was like, okay, this is crazy, but we're going to save the earth. We're going to do our part.
Yep.
No problem. We can figure this one out. And even at that moment, we're like, oh my God, the bars and the rest are being closed down for 2 weeks. We thought that was crazy.
Well, because when I initially heard about the quarantine happening, I did go to a bar for one last shot.
Yeah.
And that bartender, she thought, the manager of the bar downstairs, she thought that this was going to be like 2 weeks.
Right.
And she was bawling. Because she's like, I don't think we're going to make it. I don't know. I mean, all my employees are super upset. And 2 weeks is going to crush us.
Yeah.
And we're a month later now.
I mean, no, exactly. It's a month later. And a month later, we find out that we got another month. It's not even a month yet. It's what, April? What is it, April 10th today?
It's April 10th, yeah.
Yeah.
But we got that bomb dropped on us today, as you were saying.
Yeah, and so that means we got another month after this. I mean, I got our apartment is sending us letters saying the COVID-19 guidelines. Thank you for all that have paid rent. For those who do not pay rent, please contact the property team immediately. It is imperative that you contact us so you can understand your obligations under the lease.
So we don't have to pay rent?
First of all, they're telling the people these are your obligations under the lease. There is no obligations in a pandemic, okay? The city, the state, what do these guys expect?
Because
the pool's closed.
It's renegade time.
Yeah, what are they talking about?
I mean, it's not renegade time yet, but starting May 1st, we're all about to be renegades.
100%. I mean, we're about to open up a speakeasy. I'm telling you this live right now. We're gonna open.
You're on air. You have viewers right now. I'll be careful.
Speakeasy starting Cinco de Mayo. If this thing is not open by Cinco de Mayo, that's gonna be our first speakeasy day. Just let you know. Hit us up in the DMs. We'll let you know when this speakeasy is gonna go down. But you think
Cinco de Mayo will be like that date will be like the new Thanksgiving for America when we finally we broke loose. We all became friends again.
I think it'll be our new Independence Day.
Our new Independence Day. There you go.
Yeah, it'll be like our pre-July 4th.
Yeah, I don't want to squash another major holiday here because I do like major holidays. Cinco de Mayo is a fun one.
Cinco de Mayo with Coronas, that's what's going to happen.
But like the day before Cinco de Mayo is like America's new Independence Day.
Yeah, I'm not saying that should be what will happen. No, let me back up a little bit. I'm not saying like that's what should happen. I'm just telling you what will happen. You're not going to be able to lock down people for this long in their homes and not expect them to start going crazy. People are already going crazy. To add another month to it right now, it's just unbelievable.
Because I talked to a mother in the South today, and she's ready to break loose.
Right.
And it's tough because there's still people asking for the bills of like dance classes and all these different obligations that you've signed up for on these yearly contracts. And you've been off for a month, which obviously you want those like teachers and stuff to get paid. But sometimes like paying into the institutions feels a little awkward right now.
100%. 100%.
And us paying rent right now feels weird too, though. Even though we've been living here more than we've ever lived here.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. And yeah, so the lockdown got extended in Texas. We know as May 20th. I think Minnesota is still May 1st. So we are, I think they're spoon feeding us this situation because they didn't want to say from the beginning that this was going to be a 90-day lockdown.
Yeah, and we did really see through that from the beginning. Yeah. From the time that it hit, we're like, this is going to take a while. Now, my expectations of how long this is going to be has continued to extend. I think we're until August as far as like the legality of all this goes, but we're going to see who's renegades about May 1st.
If we do have kids and they have grandkids, they're not going to talk about the Great Depression anymore. This will be the new Great Depression because the Great Depression, it was 24% unemployment rate. And, a lot of economists think that we'll probably get up to 30 to 32% unemployment rate, which is just unbelievable. I never thought, in my lifetime that I would actually live to see the Great Depression.
Yeah, I think that like our generation really expected that all of the truest and worst times in the world have already showed up, and that we lived through some things that we kind of talk about as like they're the worst time ever, but we really know like deep down inside our heart that like this is not World War II, this is not the Great Depression, Yeah,
but millennials will be the first generation to go through two major recessions, and this one is going to be arguably could be bigger than the Great Depression in terms of unemployment rate.
Sure.
Now, how long that unemployment lasts is still out to be figured, and no one can actually say. We can just estimate at this point. So, lockdown extended May 15th for Los Angeles,
and then it's like something like May 20th or something like that in Texas right now.
Texas, yeah. Texas for sure is not sitting around until May 20th. It's just not going to happen.
No.
You're not going to tell Texans to stay home until May 20th. I think this does not make sense after May 1st. We should, those who are not vulnerable should be required to wear masks, should be required to wear, gloves, and then wash your hands. Don't shake hands before you're about to eat. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. We can do that. This is like, they give me access to a 2-ton car and tell me I can go up to 120 miles per hour. But they say don't go up to 120, go 60. I have that control. But you're not going to give me control to not touch my face?
The don't touch your face thing is really hard for me, though. I've found that I touch my face a lot.
Yeah. But I'm
learning.
Yeah. You probably already had the Rona. Let's be honest at this point. For our Friday shows are a little bit more unhinged, a little bit more energy.
Well, because when Rona season gets done, this might be outside live at one of the greatest rooftops in the world. You can expect us. It's all around the city, maybe on Fridays, going live from your greatest hot spots.
Yeah.
Until then, we can only see each other, so you're only going to be able to see us from the typical home studio here.
Yeah. I think that people will appreciate the outside so much more and being around their friends when this is all done. It kind of shows you how it's not even close. Like, I don't want anyone to think, but like, I can imagine when, somebody gets locked up to have that perspective, after a while to come out of that. So imagine if, somebody goes to jail for a while.
I thought you were actually going to go Anne Frank on them and go like locked up, like real locked up.
So, but it just shows you, like, I think people appreciate the things that we've taken for granted for so long. But I understand the lesson. I get it. I don't need any more of this lockdown. We get it. I think we'll be more careful.
Do you think that we go lockdown again, though, come fall? Or do you think once we're out for good, and then we'll just start masking? We're bumping elbows for literally the next 2 years.
The next time that the citizens will allow the government to do a lockdown will start in mid-November. After Halloween, people will be like, okay, I can use another break again. We'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
If we did another lockdown in December, big whoops. But it's not, you're not going to do another lockdown in the fall. That's just not going to work out, especially for football fanatics. They're trying to go to the bars.
I don't even know if we know that's all happening yet. Because I do think that big events are still, it's going to take a while for the big events to happen. That's going to move deeper into August until we can have like a full football stadium filled. Could you see that happening?
I think all Americans should sign a consent form that releases the government to allow them to take risks. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, you guys already know, we've been telling you this for 90 to 120 days straight. Anything you do outside of this is at your own risk.
Yeah, but they're going to call that a pre-existing condition when we come around to like the socialized healthcare coming down the pipeline.
I mean, but you already know I'm somebody who believes in universal healthcare.
Right.
So if we have universal, okay.
I'm just saying, like, they're going to be like, oh, we saw you out during COVID. That's a pre-existing condition. There's only a few things to cover you.
There was an American who had COVID in South Korea. He went into a hospital and he was charged, I believe it was about $400.
Okay.
And then they said, well, because this was COVID related, it was only $33.
Oh, sick.
And on top of that, because it was COVID related, the government said, we will cover the $33. On top of that, because you were in here for 2 weeks and didn't have an income job, he walked out of the hospital with $700 in his pocket. Cash.
I think that's an outlier, but I like that. What state were we in?
No, it's in Korea, South Korea.
Oh, dude. Okay, so you're not talking about the United States.
I was just saying, though. Well, okay, why is it that we can you know how much we support South Korea?
No, I'm not saying that. I know I'm not saying that story isn't beautiful and that's not what should happen. I wasn't listening to you at the start of the story, but then when you started to say he got $700 in his pocket, I was like, oh, that's nice. What state? And I didn't realize that you're talking about South Korea.
I mean, yeah, South Korea. So here's the thing. I am not a fan of people who bash America all day, every day, because as somebody who immigrated here at 10 years old, I can tell you there's a lot of great things about America.
Sure.
There are. That being said, I also think that Americans, when it comes to certain things, a few things, are being hoodwinked in a major way. One of them is healthcare. And so, like, for example, if I went back to Ethiopia and I was part of the government there, I would say, look, in America, they got this thing called 911. Maybe they already have it there. I don't want to bash my birth country. But when I first moved here, we didn't have a 911 that you could dial.
Oh, right? Yeah. Okay. The number. Yeah.
Yeah. So like the fact when I first moved here, I was like, oh my God, I can call 911 and the police will show up, the fire department will show up, or an ambulance will show up.
Yeah.
There was this like safety net where I was like, man, America's got your back.
Sure.
But the second layer of that, America ain't got your back. Right? So I'm not saying there's a lot of things I want America. I'm not even somebody who says universal basic income. It's not nothing that crazy. But health.
You're going to be a big UBI promoter here in like probably a year. You'll be like giving us a soapbox speech about it. So I'm going to go off on a little tangent. I was thinking about... We haven't even got to the fucking list yet, but that's all right.
We're still in lockdown. So I'm going to go off on a little tangent. And I was thinking about this on my run today. So when a guy that works at McDonald's puts up a sign that says, I want $15 an hour, why do I see the Chads of the world in the comment section going, bro, you just flip burgers. You don't deserve $15. And I'm like, What do you mean deserve? This guy is negotiating. This burger flipper or person who works at McDonald's is negotiating with McDonald's which rate he wants, and he's doing that collectively with his other colleagues.
Yeah.
Now, imagine doing this with any other person. Imagine you work at IBM, or imagine your parent is a doctor, and they're sitting there negotiating with the hospital. I think I deserve XYZ annually because I do whatever. And a random person just walks in and goes, that has nothing to do with them.
Yeah.
And is like, I don't think you deserve, you only do, eye surgery. You don't do brain. You don't deserve this.
Because he's not even necessarily talking about minimum wage. He's just saying, fuck off McDonald's. You're not paying me enough.
Yeah.
Which is like, if you're pointing at the industry or like that specific organization you work with and you're saying, pay me more.
Yeah.
You're right.
That's why I never understand why random guys who have nothing to do with that industry, who don't work for McDonald's, don't have McDonald's shares, are going to just sit in the comment section and go, you don't deserve $15 an hour. What do you mean you don't deserve it? Now, that would be a funny skit. Get him to show up at that guy's job, whatever he does, and go, oh, you're a software engineer. What do? You just sit all day, drink Mountain Dew, and just code. Why do you think you deserve $200K a year?
Yeah, I think that guy probably sells insurance.
Exactly. Yeah.
He's running around asking all of his friends, like, hey, do you want insurance?
The coder is probably like, fuck yeah, you deserve $15 an hour. It's like, here's a tip.
By the end of this COVID, I'll probably have to sell insurance. Shit. Coming at you. This will be like.
Okay, so lockdown extended. That's a little rant. So here's my question while I cross off lockdown extended. What's the first thing you're going to do when the gates open up for all of us to get out into the wild again?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Well, so the first thing that I want to do is I want to walk up. I was going to say run up, but it's not going to happen. Walk up Runyon Canyon. I want to see how far you can see in LA that day, because we will never be able to see that far again. And I want to be like that old man that goes, one day you could have saw Catalina Island from up here.
So you take this nice camera right here.
Yeah.
And you're going to go up there like 6 a.m. and just kind of
I'm getting up there as quick as possible.
Right.
To just see the furthest you can see from this point. Because I know you can already see Catalina Island, but there's probably something else that you can see that will never be able to be seen again.
Yeah. One thing that's never happened to me is I've never been kicked out of a bar. And I've also never been slapped at a bar. And
well, those are usually two things that happen the same day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that's what I'm going to go for. But I've thought about it.
I don't think the first day of COVID or being released from being detained, you're going to be getting slapped at bars. I think that's going to be one of the happiest days at bars.
Yeah, maybe that is your day where maybe you can cross the line a little bit. And I'm talking about, slapping the bouncer.
Well, I think what you're going to be able to do is the girl that used to not talk to you because she is a 10 or maybe an 8.
Right.
She's going to, I think, give everybody a little bit of time to say, hey, how are you doing?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I only talk, if I was going to talk to somebody, I don't talk to people at the bar, but if I was going to talk to somebody, it's probably a 10.
All right. I usually try to just kind of gauge the situation, see who's the most educated in the room, and talk to them about what they care about.
Yeah.
So this is we're doing the first thing right now.
Yeah, first thing. So like, and this would be a good. I wish we had viewers that would tell us what's the first thing they're gonna do. There's no Jessica Jones said, ask your dad. What can we call the Homeland and see what he thinks?
Yeah, we can call him up and see. We can get him on the dial. Hold up here.
Yeah. There's a lot of things you think about when you're locked up from a perspective of like what you want to do. I read a meme that actually said, this feels like being locked up. It's like the jail of the Goodfellas, where you get to actually cook in there, make some pasta, kick with your friends. It's not like actually locked up, but you're just like, I'd rather be outside.
As discussing the locked up thing, though, that jail fight that you showed me today, where they streamed it live.
Oh yeah, they're like, we would have been okay if you would have just given us health care.
What penitentiary was that at?
It was in Kansas. There was a penitentiary in Kansas. And they were rioting because they're like, you guys have us locked up in here with coronavirus, and you're not giving us any health care. I didn't see one guard. In fact, I saw an inmate with the jacket of a guard.
Those guys were out to lunch. I don't even know what they were thinking.
No, I mean, those guys were like, what? I'm not taking no risk. I'm going home.
Right. Because they do have families. They're like, this is not a fight I'm worth fighting right now.
The guy who was like, who's asking, hey, are you cold? They probably turned off the heat on them too.
So we're going to see if this FaceTime is going to work. I think that this program or my computer is really taking a lot of heat while we're trying to run all this.
Yeah, I think we would probably need a different computer while we're doing this.
So if anybody wants to donate, if they want to see better content, clearer picture, faster programming, we can start a Patreon or something like that. Is that what it is? Patreon?
Patreon. I wonder if we can.
I'm kind of getting through it.
Yeah, I wonder because I saw a meme that said, "Are you interesting enough to even go live?" And it was a good question, and I really can't answer that. But I kind of want to go live so I can ask some people. Oh yeah, we should bring in Papa Bear's coming in.
See if we can bring him in live here.
Hey, LJ, what's up, buddy?
Trying to bring you in live. See if it's going to work today. Just give me a second.
I wonder if I should just do it on my phone.
Yeah, you can keep on talking. Well, you can keep on talking. He should be in there somewhere.
I'll just do it on my phone. It's live. I'm going to FaceTime. Cool.
FaceTime.
Hi, Papa Stead. We have we're gonna call in what is it? Calls to the homeland?
Yeah, report from the Heartland.
A report from the Heartland. So yeah, we are. So can I don't think I can see you.
I don't think you're gonna see me. I'm in the hot tub, buddy.
Oh, you're in the okay, cool. Okay,
Oh, guys in the hot tub today.
Okay, so Papa Stead is in the hot tub. You know, he's chilling. So we're calling in to ask you a very specific question, which is, what's the first thing you're gonna do when this quarantine thing gets essentially once it all opens up? What's the first thing you're gonna do when everyone is out in public? Are you going out to the bars? What are you doing?
Turn him up a little bit.
Wait, say that one more time.
Yeah, the first thing I'm gonna do is take off my mask,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna go out and hug a bunch of people that I haven't been able to hug for a while.
Okay, who's on the top of that list?
Oh man. Well, I guess no one knows in my house. I don't keep the 6-foot rule of the mile there. But
Of course not.
I think I might just go for a walk in the neighborhood and give a big hug to those who made it, to those who have passed and made it. Our neighborhood had a couple cases of COVID, so everybody who was contiguous to that property had to get tested. So I went through the whole contagion series, had to go through the 3 tests, got the nasal probe, and came back negative.
Wow,
So,
that's amazing.
Yeah, I got to be one of those. I am excited to see if I can be one of those who already had it I think unlike LJ, I think there's a good chance I'm going to be in that group of maybe 40 to 50% who've already had it and had a bad case, but I didn't have it bad enough to even at that point. I got real sick, I think, in February, maybe February 1st, February 8th, before they even knew what this COVID thing was. So I think that'll probably be in that group. LJ, I think you're in that group, my friend.
I probably am. Yeah.
Probably.
So the rule out of street is, you can go in and get tested now to see if you have the antibodies. That's incorrect. The test is coming into usage now, but the common person cannot get it unless, one, you tested positive for COVID, and two, you now have a negative test. Those people can get into a study that 20 different centers are offering. They have it right here at Mayo Clinic in Rochester. Our neighbor's one of the heads of it, Dr. Joyner, and it'll be a great thing when that occurs that you can maybe get somebody else's plasma and get the immunity for getting coverage right away for the COVID. That will be amazing. That will help bring things around the grade. Boy, what are you guys? So we're live now? Hi, guys. How are you doing?
You're live.
Super. Hey, I'm in the tub and Mama Bear. Hi, Mama Bear.
Well,
Penny says hi. She just ran by. Hey, what are you going to do, Kamal, on that first time?
I was telling LJ that, I've never been slapped at a bar, and I've never been kicked out of a bar. And so maybe that will be my first goal once I get out.
It could never happen on the first day. Everyone's going to be way too kind. You'll get a lot of passes on the first day.
That's exactly.
Super going to be super kind to each other. I don't think that's going to happen.
That's what LJ said too. Which is
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
LJ, so what would you do, LJ? What's your thought?
Well, what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to go to one of the local running spots, Runyon Canyon, or some sort of spot where I can hit a peak, and I want to see how far you can see that day. Because it's going to be the farthest that you're ever going to be able to see. So I can be that old guy and tell the grandkids, hey, you would have never believed it, but you can see this particular island from this far away 30 years ago.
That's actually a very good idea. I think you're going to have a lot of people up there with you, especially if you're putting that thought out now. I think a lot of people will be up there Getty with you or whatever, looking out as far as they can. I think you're right. I think that could happen.
Yeah.
So once you realize after you're trying to be the bad boy in the bar that nobody's slapping you that day, what are you going to do then?
Then I'll join LJ up on the hill and take in the views.
So that's tier 2. Okay, but you realize a half hour later, it's already going to have started to cloud up.
That is true. Yeah. It would have to be like
first thing with them, because it's going to.
Yeah.
That day, can you imagine how many people are going to be out driving?
It's going to be a party.
Crazy.
Will have to be like a 6 a.m. type of thing.
Oh yeah, you'll have to get out there early. Gas is going to go from like $1 to like $4 that day.
Yeah, the demand will come back up.
If I were you two that day in LA, I would just be the man on the street all day, videotaping, interviewing people. It's going to be precious. It's going to be a beautiful.
That's actually true. That'd be a great day just to be out with mics.
Yeah, we'll be out there.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Well,
Godspeed, guys. Well, I love what you're doing, but I'm back in the hot tub, buddies.
sounds good. Enjoy it. We love it. We'll talk soon.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Godspeed, guys. Bye-bye.
Yep. See you.
All right, so that was a nice report from the Heartland. You got Papa Bear, you sitting in the tub. Pretty sure you're going to be able to hear that. Maybe not. But he seems to be having a pretty relaxed day. He was saying the first thing he's going to do is go around his neighborhood and hang out with all the people that already had COVID.
Exactly.
But he did get tested last week.
And he's negative. Or
he got tested this week. No, he got tested last week because he got his results back this week. And I know that there was people were saying that you have to take a cotton ball and like put it way in the back of your nose. And then a bunch of another articles saying that like that was like a conspiracy theory. He said that he had to take a cotton ball pretty far back in the nose.
Yeah. I mean, the videos that we've seen, it looks like people are just getting.
It's pretty uncomfortable, I guess.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Next topic. So, thought that was kind of interesting. In Japan right now, those who are over the age of 65 years old are making up 25% of the prison population or jail population.
This is normal? This is how it's always been there? Or is this like a new stat that everyone's freaking out about?
So it's a new stat. And the reason why is that those who are over the age of 65 are committing petty crimes so they can go live in jail for free and get 3 meals a day and essentially have it's like a free nursing home.
Well, that's kind of smart, actually.
Yeah, I mean, and it makes you think, it's like, how nice or how relatively nice are their jails?
And it would be pretty good to have a few more older people in jail. I think it would just calm it down a little bit.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they're so respectful to each other.
You can't really beat in somebody who's like 80. You can't go with the classic, like, hey, like, let's go beat him up in the shower today.
Yeah.
Like, he's a little bit too fragile from the get.
Yeah.
So 65 plus, they're saying 20% of Japanese individuals over in Japan are in jail.
100%. Well,
20% of their population,
25%
of their prison population is 65 plus.
Yes, 65 plus. And they do it by doing petty crimes. And so I wonder, I mean, at some point, I'm sure the government will look at that stat and go, all right, we kind of need to do something different because, they're not going to make the jails harsher.
I would like to do some investigative journalism and do like 24 hours in jail.
In Korea. Or here.
I don't know if I want to do in Korea because I could see that potentially starting an international conflict.
See, there's a place like, if I had 24 hours of jail in South Korea, in Japan, in Sweden, in Norway, in Italy, there's a few countries where I'd be like, you know what, it's fine. America's not on that list. I do not want to go to jail for 24 hours in the United States.
If I'm going to do 24 hours in like Italy, I want to see the closest basilica. I'm not really too worried about what the jail is feeling like.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like
that my international travel experience. Like, I really don't want the jail, but like maybe a random like Tuesday night in America, my 24 hours, and it'd be good for content.
Yeah, I guess. No, I mean, what I'm saying is that if you get locked up in a jail in Italy, they might just feed you pasta and some good Parmigiano. They might even give you a glass of wine. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I would create somehow an international incident. I don't want to start a next world war.
I feel you. But yeah, I thought that was an interesting stat to show on a random Friday night. So
Friday night, 7 p.m. in Los Angeles.
7, huh?
We're hanging out. I think so. Sometimes you know how the computer gets a little weird. It's actually 7. Yeah.
And the fact that it's still light out gives me a lot of hope.
Dad called me?
Ooh.
My dad called me again. I don't know what his problem is. Let's see what he's doing.
He just called me?
He just called me again.
Huh.
I don't know what his problem is.
He probably wanted to talk.
What's up?
You called me again?
Oh, I did. Were you guys trying to get a hold of me again?
No.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
All right, we'll talk to you.
Okay, bye.
Love you, bye.
And then for the last bit of content that I have before going to a free space, apparently some people were giving Hulu a hard time, and I don't know why we always listen to these people, but it said that in their sort of their clapback, Hulu to parasite movie haters. If you don't want to read subtitles, learn Korean. Which I thought was funny because they didn't say go somewhere else. Too bad. It's kind of a nice little dig.
And again, like, I'm big time against subtitles. I think it gets in a way of the artistic direction that the writer and the director had for the vision of the movie. if they wanted subtitles in, they would have put it there from the start. So as more of like a classic man and as a cinemaphile, I think as they call them, I am against subtitles. And subtitles even get worse when it comes to like the movie, like shows like The Office. Any type of comedy, subtitles totally throws it off. But when it comes to Parasite, it's just a great movie. It's the best movie of the year, and they were such good storytellers that I don't know. It just doesn't matter that I don't know what they're saying, and you do need the subtitles to at least have some idea.
You know, I am the exact opposite. I love subtitles. There's rarely content that I'll watch without subtitle because I feel like sometimes you just miss the little nuances. You might miss a single word that really changes the movie. And there's times where I'm eating something like popcorn or chips or whatever. I'm eating something while watching the movie. And while I'm crunching, I need to know what they said. And so reading the subtitles really helps. So anybody that knows me or has watched a movie with me knows that I love subtitles. I rarely watch something without a subtitle. In fact, if I did actually build a movie theater,
Big subtitle board.
yeah, I would actually, the fact that we don't have movie theaters that just take the movie and say, we're going to put subtitles on this movie.
So many people would sign up for the subtitle movie.
Yeah, they would.
It's
right?
no different than going to like the 3D movie version or not. Like,
Yeah, there's a lot of deaf people too, you know, and so if I'm sure, you know, not everybody loves subtitles, but the group that loves subtitles, they would go to that movie theater. And
I found, I mean, there are some people wanting subtitles on Netflix. It's like a 50-50 thing now. Like
Is it?
50% of the world does subtitles.
yeah, subtitles are nice.
But then what we also found on Amazon, you can not only do subtitles, but you can do audio describe. And we are looking for the greatest movie that just is in audio describe. I haven't found like a really good funny movie audio describing it yet.
And a good thing actually about subtitle is that you're reading and watching a movie at the same time. It's not like you're missing out on reading. Right? It's like, oh, I just watched that movie. I just read a book.
I don't know if subtitles is maybe smarter quite yet.
Well, I'm sure it's like, you know, spelling words here and there, like subconscious.
Yeah.
Or, you know, there's some words that when you see it spelled out, it's easy for you to remember.
I mean, one of the greatest shows out there right now is Money Heist. It's dubbed over. Love it.
It's not bad, actually.
They crushed it. I mean, one, it's a better story than most stories being told on Netflix, even though there are a lot of great shows out. Money Heist has got to be one of the best ones, and it's dubbed. And they kind of, I think they like kind of artificially made sure that all of the language fit within the talking points,
Which is
or like the
interesting.
time that the mouse are moving, because you don't get these long extended, like
Correct.
the mouse moving, no words, or
Yeah.
the words are going and the mouse not. They like timed it really well.
Yeah, it's like Indian movies that, you know, would do it in English or vice versa, and it always, what's, you know.
Because I think it's a French movie. Maybe our like pace of conversation.
And
then
I think
also
it's
the-
in Spain.
Oh, really?
Because they always say that the Spanish bank, you know, that keeps.
They're in the Spanish bank. Well, now we're on part 4. I'm not sure. Are they?
I think they're in Spain. Money Heist is Spain, right? Let me just do a quick Google before my phone dies. My phone is about to die.
I think it's in French. Let's see. It's a French show. We'll see though.
It's Spain.
It's in Spain,
Yeah, it's in Spain.
but they're speaking French.
No, bro, they're speaking Spanish, like
All right.
Spain Spanish.
Okay.
I've only seen one season of it.
Yeah, it's a great show. I've seen all 4. I haven't finished it quite yet. I think I have one more episode left. Good show though. It is really one of those shows where every single episode they leave you with such a cliffhanger that it's just crushing. You
Right.
have to just like keep on going.
Right. It's no, it is a great show. That one night, and I started with like season 4, and I couldn't go to sleep until I finished it.
Yeah, you really need to like go to season 1 for you can see the professor at like his best.
Yeah.
Because he emotionally falls apart once he's in love. and it sucks.
Yeah.
It just shows how sometimes men just get eroded by wild women.
I mean, that's, I wonder what it's like for couples that are living together during this quarantine. It's,
Yeah, I mean, quarantine's one of those things that I think really tests you as a couple to say, like, do you like each other? Can you hang out all the time? You definitely, I think the best out is obviously cooking a lot. But
yeah,
it's one of those things that everybody thinks they're a really good cook right now. And that's because we actually haven't eaten really good food in a while. And
That's
so
true.
you put a little salt and pepper on stuff and everybody's like,
I mean, the
Oh my
other
God, it's so
night
good.
we had taco night. LJ made tacos, and I was like, "Yo, LJ, this is the best tacos you've ever made." I actually think these tacos are 10 out of 10. And he goes, "It's because you haven't been to a restaurant in a while."
yeah, I am getting better, but
Yeah.
I do have to tamper my ego and realize that it's because we haven't had good street tacos in a bit.
Speaking of, wait, what time does grill close?
It closes at 8.
Okay,
You have 50 minutes.
we're good then. We're good. Any other topics you want to kind of cover for the free space on this Friday night?
Oh, that's what free space is?
Yeah, it's like a freestyle.
Oh, interesting. Free space on a Friday night. Time to just kind of think about your own thoughts and wonder what it's like to be free again. Holy shit. Maybe, I don't know if I want to be free yet.
Okay. So I mean, it doesn't even have to use it, right? It's like
We got to use it. I went on a run yesterday, and it was the first time that I've hit runner's high in all of COVID.
Yeah.
And it was bizarre to me of what runner's high felt like. I felt like I blacked out.
At which mile do you kind of hit your runner's high?
I get runner's high like right around 2.5 miles.
Yeah.
Something around there.
Yeah.
There is another version of runner's high when I hit like 5.5 miles, but that is something I have rarely felt in my life, but I've experienced it.
Yeah, but like once you commit to it,
Yeah.
because the more hills you get past, and you're like, God, how bad do I really want that high?
Mm-hmm.
Then once you get past that bigger hill, you're like, oh, there's a bigger high.
Yeah, I think it's like I finally get a buzz at 2.5 miles,
Yeah,
and I black out at 5.5.
I feel you.
So
Okay, that's for me, my first one hits around mile 3, going into mile 4. That's when I'm like really hitting stride, and it'd be interesting to find out like what actually causes
runner's high.
runner's high. I wonder if it's because your body's switching from burning carbs to fat. Is it like, what is that? Like, there has to be some physiologically happening for you to experience runner's high.
Well, that's what's one of the things that's going on, but it doesn't happen, I think, until like mile 18 at a marathon,
Okay.
when you finally go from, I think, like your carbs are worn out to like that's that huge wall that you hit. Where what's that next flip once you hit off carbs? Is it fat that you start burning? That's your next fuel.
Yeah, fat and a little bit of muscle.
So that's a bizarre feeling when that finally goes through, because like your body like totally breaks itself down. It tells you like, hey, there's no more left. We shouldn't do that. And it's as if your car just transitioned from like it doesn't have any more electric space and now it turns on gas.
Yeah. I'm surprised that a beer company hasn't come out with like a energy type of drink for them. Like, because if you think about it, beer has a lot of carbs and you can drink it fast, right? For people that are running.
Yeah.
And so if you could take, yes, I know beer could dehydrate you, but like if you drink water, there has to be like some kind of combination between water and beer that they could put together and go, this is like the perfect, pasta, but in a liquid form for you, right?
And we would want to have low alcohol content in it though, because like
True.
you get trashed if you've ran that far.
Because you have nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which might help you get past that 18 miles.
So if you all have any topics for us Monday, feel free to light up the comment section.
We're here to answer. We don't expect to be pros at this yet, and we definitely don't expect to be the most educated people in this virtual space. So if you got any knowledge out there, feel free to pass it our way. We love hate and we love love. So I don't know. I think that's over and out for today.
Over and out, baby.
Godspeed.
Mm-hmm.